President, a group of NPP Constituency youth organizers and their deputies today went to the party headquarters to pick nominations form for the 2024 presidential candidate Bawumia ahead of the next year's presidential primaries amid chants and dancing to party songs. The supporters were briefly joined by the NPP General Secretary Justin Kudiafrimpong, who clarified that his presence was purely coincidental and not specifically to witness the group collects Dr. Bawumia's form. Here's more.
Well, former Vice President Bawumia has become the latest member of the New Patriotic Party to officially pick nomination forms to contest in the 2026 flag bearer race of the party. But he did not pick it himself. 490 youth organizers of the party picked it on his behalf. And according to them, they think that he is the best candidate to lead the party to victory come election 2028.
We are here today to pick the form for our incoming president, inshallah, Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia. And we believe that this is a gift to Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia at this critical moment in our governance as a country. Looking at what has happened over the 7-month period, the only savior that can restore the 36,000 people that have been sacked, youth that has been sacked, is Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia.
Well, the former vice president also thanked the numerous youth organizers who picked the nomination forms for him, saying that this is a remarkable vote of confidence and vowed never to engage in politics of insult.
The youth are a major asset for our party. They represent the future, and they are an asset not only for the party but for the nation. And I want to thank them for this major vote of confidence. But let us say that I want this flag bearership election to be conducted with decorum. We are not in a campaign of insults.
Well, former Information and Works and Housing Minister Kojo Nkrumah, who has also publicly declared his support for Bawumia, says that he agrees with the former vice president that this is indeed a vote of confidence in him.
He's already committed to them that he's minded to contest. He will be making a formal declaration. But to start off with the largest bloc within the party, which is the youth, is very, very, very encouraging.
From the campaign office of Bawumia, my name is Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
All right, so this is what happened at the party headquarters today. Some youth groups of the party picking nominations form for Dr. Bawumia, who is also contesting the NPP presidential race. Now let me bring in Kwasi Kwarteng, and he speaks for the candidate Yapon presidential, campaign. Mr. Kwarteng, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, how are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm curious to know whether this suggests that your camp may have lost the youth wing of the NPP.
Well, let me say that what is happening on new is part of the political processes and strategy that politicians and politically exposed people want to use, and sometimes give an impression of a massive support. I mean, political is not new. It's also not clear. It's not very distant or so remote from the politics also being Ghana. I mean, if the history, even though it's much of this time, politics have been as always strategy. So it depends what each camp wants to, the strategy each camp wants to adapt. We thought that we wanted to take it, pick the form on very good. They are also of the, quite a different view. They feel that they have to organize people, make it appear they are 490 youth organized. I mean, this whole concept about mentioning numbers is not the first time. if you recall, initially sometime 67 MPs, then 137, how do you call it, 230 MMDCs. I mean, it's always been about some deliberate and intentional approach of astroturfing. But I mean, that is their strategy. At the end of the day, I've always maintained that this is of politics. When the fundamentals are built on political astroturfing and cosmetism, the election day results will expose the reality. I've always maintained that if there is any test that has been proven to be most consistent, most efficient, and most reliable, it's a test of time. I don't think we should fall them for the strategy that they want to adopt, except that, I mean, those that you saw there are not necessarily all youth organizers. I'm not sure you can count more than 50 of them. Of course, you saw numbers, you saw people there. The fact that you see people there doesn't necessarily mean they are youth organizers. There were even some white men in the crowd. Are they all youth organizers? So we are not moved, we are not perturbed, we are unfazed, we are not shaking. Our confidence, again, is still with the grassroots, is with the youth organizers. Recall, even when we were going to pick our forms, youth organizers had proposed to pick ours for us, women organizers, secretaries had proposed, even ordinary Ghanaians had proposed. But we came in unison and in one consensus and agreed that the senior members of the party will pick on behalf of all the groups that were offering. So that was our strategy. So if they decide that, I mean, they have to bar some people, organize some people, label them as youth organizers, get some few ones to form. I mean, it's not the first time we are seeing that stuff. You recall, the CC7 MP. I mean, later on, when we counted them, you and I, CC7, there were a number about 26. Earlier, subsequently, they also mentioned of some 230 MPs, which turned out to be, not to be the case, or some of the MMDC even came to disclaim that. I am not sure they are to be faulted for such a political strategy. But I mean, ultimately, the most important thing is election day, and I want to remind everybody that when the fundamentals are built on political astroturfing and cosmetism and settings and showmanship, the election day results will expose who the people indeed wants. And I'm not sure 31st is that very far. But I mean, for now, we can only wish them the best. It's the decision and the strategy they chose. We don't follow them. We wish them the best.
But psychologically, it doesn't unsettle you and your base.
You see, it appears they become the Bawumia camp has become so predictable with numbers and this approach. I mean, that's why I've given you some instances. Even in the 2024 elections, when Ghanaians were warning us that the outlook doesn't look well for all of us. Remember, it wasn't the same approach. We were on stages dancing to Kim Palute's song and told the whole country that we won. At the end of the day, the election, they exposed us. So I felt would have taken a cue from it. And at that time, anybody would have asked the question that you asked to the NDC, that are they psychologically intimidated? Obviously, no, because this is not the first time we are witnessing this. It started from there. Then even beyond that, the whole impression about we have MPs, then the whole impression about we have MMDs, and to this. So it is left for them to play the psychological warfare game. But I'm telling you, the premise is not about psychological warfare. It's about who the delegates believe that can win elections for us. And for me, I am strongly of the view that with the people that we spoken to, Canada, Japan stands tall.
All right. I mean, something that may give you a glimmer of hope is what Joy News put out as to, and the question was asked, who should lead the NPP into the 2028 general elections? And this can be found on the Joy News social media handles, on X, on Facebook. So there is Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, there's Kennedy Japan, there's Brian Champon, there's Dr. Yawase Adichum, and there's Kwabena Ejeye Japan. So Kwabena Ejeye Japan, according to those who have responded to this poll, is doing 76. Dr. Adichum is doing 104. Brian Champon is doing 127. Kennedy Japan is doing 1,000. And Dr. Mamadou Bawumia is doing 643. So I guess if this is anything to go by, that should also give you some joy.
Then the bottom line is that the sovereignty resides with the people. They are the majority. And you see, this is also an electoral college system. I think for us, it's a good feedback for us, for the purpose of our planning and for the purpose of our campaign target. But didn't call it so much joy or excitement. But we'll take it as good feedback. We'll continue to engage the public. And I mean, this coming from an independent and a very credible and reliable source like Joy and Multimedia. It's not a candidate who will probably invite people and, of course, I mean, with different motivating factors to go and pick form for him and create an impression that he's them who voluntarily come. I mean, you have been reporting on political issues and political activities for a long time. You know how these things are done. So it's not a basis of worry at all. 31st is just at the corner. I mean, the end will justify the means. I've indicated that there is no litmus that is consistent and most reliable than the test of time. So let's.